Okay. Hey, welcome to the Caribou Data Science channel this afternoon. I'm going to do a very quick video on how to install with PostgreSQL Server database 14.7, I think it is, and also the latest version of PgAdmin. This was actually done in response to I was trying to help a young person today, install Postgres and PgAdmin on a Windows 11 box. We didn't succeed. Actually, we got the server to run, but the PgAdmin kept failing with a socket error. But I'm not even sure the socket error is really necessary. Okay, so anyway, here we go. I've already downloaded the two files, and I cleaned out the directories where the old installation was. So let's go over here, and I'm going to run it as a user. So we'll see what happens. And I'm just going to do nothing but default options here, okay? Over here, we're going to install it as expected under 14. We're not changing anything over here. Data directory, password 135790. 135790. Nothing's going to change. Local, let's change. Let's do this. Let's do this. Now it should be installing. Now this should be pretty straightforward. I'm not really sure why the other person I was helping kept having problems. It may have been because I installed something extra, but I didn't completely install. I installed something that didn't really need to be installed. It had something to do with WebSockets. So then I tried to use pip to install what's it called, like small WebSockets or something like that, and that still didn't work. So I thought, well, maybe it's a path problem. Maybe the problem is the Python or Postgres can't see Python. So I went in and I added the path for Python, and I tested that, and now Python is in the path, although pip is not. But pip's in the scripts directory. Okay. This can take a few moments to load. Now, Postgres claims to be the most advanced open source database out there, and that's probably true. There are, of course, other database, open source databases out there. To go from one end to say SQLite, all the way over to MySQL, and even most recently, kind of a new entry on the field, DuckDB, which isn't really a true database. It's more like an interface to a data frame. It allows you to execute SQL statements against the data frame rather than actually a database. So it's kind of similar in R to what's called SQLDF or SQL data frame. Okay, similar thing. Now, the one other thing you see about Postgres, you actually have to define the table before you import data. So you have to create your table, then you have to define the columns. Then you can import your data, so your CSV file into that table space after that. Which is kind of annoying because I don't have to do that with SQL Server 2019. And you don't have to do it with SQLite either. So we're splitting. If you look at the screen, you see it's loading a lot of Python scripts right now. So Postgres has a lot of Python running in the background, okay? No, I'm actually using Python 3.10.8, I think it is. I tried to use 3.11. I had trouble getting the packages to upload, and I kept getting error messages. So I rolled back to a 3.8, and you may want to do the same thing. Okay, you know, as a general rule, I always upgrade to the latest software. But if something doesn't work, then we got to go back to take one giant step back to the previous stable version. Now Python takes up Python and Postgres take up a fair amount of space. So you probably you probably want to have at least, I don't know, 100 gigabytes of space. That's a lot of space, but you don't know how much space that your actual data is going to take up. And also, I'll point out that I believe there's actually two different levels of authentication. You can connect to the server, and then you actually have to connect to the individual databases themselves, okay? And once this is finished running, we'll be able to test it out and see if we can actually connect to the server. Now, the person I was trying to help today, we were able to connect to the server, but there was probably something, I don't know, probably something with I don't know, Postgres maybe, or it could have been I installed something I shouldn't have. They watched the video and they skipped the additional step. The person actually skips the additional additional packages aren't really essential. And as you can see, we're getting close right now to the end. Normally I use SQL Server 2019 almost exclusively, and a little bit of SQLite. I think the main reason I keep Postgres on just in case of occasions like if someone asks for it. Now again, Postgres supports the same core SQL language as most other databases, including SQL Server and MySQL. They all support a common core language. The syntax is almost identical, but then they all add their own bells and whistles on top of it also. Like additional functions to process dates and time series and stuff like that. Okay, and in some cases, some of the most basic functions are different, like how to change column names, how to add and drop columns. The function used there is different in some databases. Okay, Stack Builder may be used to download this. No, we'll skip that. Skip that Stack Builder. Notice the icon here. Skip that right there. Finish. Let's go over here. See if we can connect to the data. See what we can do over here. Postgres 14. Come down here. Let's go shell. Local. That's kind of annoying. It only gave me one shot. And I'll say again, we actually got to the point where we could connect to the server. So the problem wasn't that. So it installs PgAdmin. We're going to install a different version of it. We're going to actually install the first version. Good. Let's list the databases. All right, good. Let's exit out of this. So this is now working. Let's install PgAdmin. Because you can see it installs a version of PgAdmin, but probably isn't installing the latest version. So we're using the latest version, which is 6.20. We're gonna run anyway. Install from the let's install. I'm not sure. I shouldn't do that. Let's see what happens. I wonder what happens if we install for all users. Yeah, I'll sell my soul to the just put up again. VG4. Install. Now, if this runs and the other one doesn't, that's kind of a curious thing. Now, here's a question. Can I actually download a French version of these two apps? That's an interesting question, isn't it? Because which is so much important. We didn't change anything on the install. Okay. That raises an interesting question. That's surprising that PgAdmin is that big. Can I get different languages over here? Windows. So that's finished. Let's close this. Let's close this. Let's come over here, let's load up PgAdmin. Now, I didn't change anything, okay? Now, unless it's possible that hey, way off. Fantastic, guys. Man, if you need someone to carry your briefcase, give me your call. Give me a call, okay? A junior with a credit card and fraud. That's fantastic. I'm really glad to hear that, my friend. I'm really proud of you for doing what putting the effort in you to get to this point and to get this opportunity. Fantastic. Yeah, I'm still live streaming Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. Okay. Right now, I was trying to help a person actually from Tunisia to install Postgres and PgAdmin on their system. We got Postgres to run correctly, but we can't get PgAdmin to connect. into your master password. And I think the secret is to don't change anything on the install. You see, you got a little icon there next to your next to your thing there. That's great. So when's your interview? Uh-oh. No, not anymore. Not anymore. I mean, it'll probably, it's hard to say, but if you think about business math, it could be like percentages and fractions and, how to calculate profit and stuff like that, profit and loss maybe. Okay. So now what you have to do, when you get to this screen here, you click on the database, even though SQL 15 shouldn't be there anymore. Okay, please enter the password for user. Uh-oh. Okay, so this works, but I shouldn't have. '15 shouldn't be installed. This is kind of odd, because I uninstalled 15, installed 14, okay? So you come down here now, table spaces, okay? Schemas, I think, is where the tables are located at. Yeah, they're down here. Then come up here, so let's create a database. All right. Okay, so let's come back down there now. Look at the schemas, okay? Look at the tables. We have no table. Yes, we have no tables. Refresh. Okay, so here's our database. All right. And the thing that, like I said, the thing to remember, and all your tables go under here, under tables. Oddly enough, you can go over here and say, now let's create a table. Okay. Let's call bike rides. Right? Public, select table space. Now the trouble is, or the challenge is with Postgres, you have to create an empty table space containing the table description. Okay. So you come over here and say, well, let's add a column here. So you click this, I think, add a row, name, let's say date. Let's call it